you wonderful people, and welcome to another watch list. Basically, think of this as a monthly TV guide for me to let you know what and when TV shows that I'm interested in that maybe you're interested in are coming out. Like always, in the description down below, I'll include links to any trailers that might be available to anything that I bring up during this watch list. On March 1st on CBS, we have the series premiere of True Lies. Obviously, it's a TV show adaptation of the movie. It wasn't a movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jamie Lee Curtis. I've seen bits and pieces of the movie, but I don't remember. And I saw this trailer like months ago. I want to say it's like a guy that's kind of secretly like a CIA operative or something, and he's married to someone, and it's like this whole secret life thing, and he kind of drags his wife into it. So I think that's kind of the premise of it. Once again, it's been a little while since I saw the trailer, but it seemed kind of maybe it might be in that action-y comedy type of vibe. And once again, I kind of have no preconceived notion because I'm thinking if it's the movie I'm thinking of, I've seen it like maybe little bits and pieces of it, but I don't think I've ever seen the entire movie. So I'm kind of going into this fresh from what I know from the trailer. But from what I saw, it seemed really interesting and kind of like kind of on that more fun spy kind of deal. Which seemed really interesting, so I'm excited to check it out when it comes out. On March 6th, we have Season 2 of Perry Mason, which I guess the trailer's out for that because I have not seen it. I'm excited to have Perry Mason back. I'm assuming this is going to be one of those kind of anthology things where like every season's a new overarching series because like the entire case from last season was resolved. I'm sure there's going to be aftermath residual fallout from stuff, but like I don't even know what to even go into this season to expect. Once again, since it's that early in the month, if the stuff I've been reading online about dates and stuff isn't wrong, because there's a possibility, because sometimes that stuff gets wrong, sometimes that stuff is wrong, but if it is that early in the month, then I'm not even going to bother watching a trailer. I definitely need to rewatch season 1. I really liked it. I know this is kind of a slow burn of a show, but like when it comes to like crime mystery stuff, I'm totally fine with slow burns. I'm kind of fine with slow burns in general, but especially this. I'm really curious to see what Season 2 looks like. On March 9th on Netflix, we have You, Season 4, Part 2, which I'm so excited about. I've avoided the trailer. Like, it's a trailer out there. I even avoided the little teaser at the end of Part 1, at the end of Episode 5 of Part 1, but I'm so excited to see where the back half of this season takes us, especially where, you know, we got our reveal in Episode 5 of the season about who is the real killer behind us, you know, where things kind of go for Joe going forward. I'm really excited. Also on March 9th on Paramount Plus, we have a new series called School Spirit. Basically, this girl dies at the school and basically she's trapped here. And so she's here with other spirits and she's kind of like watching the lives of all these other students because it takes a while before they find out she died, but they think it was kind of an accident, but she finds out, no, I was murdered. So it's her trying to figure out what happened to her, and just I think it's kind of an interesting kind of like this supernatural mystery. On March 14th on the CW, we have Superman and Lois Season 3, which I'm super excited about. There is a trailer out. Once again, it's like CW trailers tend to be like a minute, maybe less than a minute and a half, specifically seasonal trailers. So it's usually stuff pulled from the first or second episode, mainly the first episode. So it's been a while since I saw the trailer, so I don't fully know where Season 3 is going to take us. Things were mainly resolved in the aftermath of Season 2. I don't remember there being any major like plot threads that were left out. Like it was just kind of like everything was kind of resolved, and you know the family moving forward. Obviously, a big thing this season is going to be the actor. It's a different actor playing Jonathan, so I know that's like one big thing going into the season I already knew about, but I don't remember the story bits we got from the trailer. But regardless of what it is, I'm very excited to see where Season 3 ends up taking us, what's next for the Kent family. Also on March 14th, also on the CW, we have Gotham Knights, which I'm very excited about. I know I'm super in a minority for that, but that's fine. That's me. I like what I like. Basically, it's in a world where it's kind of building off kind of like the Gotham Knights like we got in a video game, but in the premise that Batman is dead and Gotham is without its hero, and his son is accused of his murder, so he has to work with Stephanie Brown, kind of like she's kind of pseudo the Robin. And I mean, she is Robin obviously in the comics, but I don't know if she's fully embraced being Robin in the show, but she kind of is Bruce's Robin. But it's like, yeah, like he is Bruce's son has to work with her as well as some other villains that try and clear his name as he's being hunted by Harvey Dent. On March 16th on Netflix, we have season 2 of Shadow and Bone, which I'm excited about. Definitely need to rewatch season 1. I remember bits and like it's a lot of information about Shadow and Bone I've forgotten about, but it's like this, you know, fantasy series where there's monsters and there's like a giant wall of shadow and there's kind of warring countries. Like there's a lot going on there that I'm like, I don't remember. There's like definitely like also like a class system between like those who are normal human beings and those who have these powers. They're kind of frowned upon, if I remember correctly. Like I don't remember as much as I wish I did. I remember the twist about one of the characters, kind of a reveal about a certain character being like kind of essentially the main antagonist. I remember that. And so I've avoided the trailer because it's been so long, so I want to rewatch season 1. On March 19th on AMC and AMC Plus, once again, I always get confused on whether this is the AMC date or is this the AMC Plus date because, you know, AMC like airs these like a week in advance. Regardless, there's a new series called Lucky Hank. Basically, he's a professor at a school and he's kind of a dick, and it's just kind of like, I don't fully know what to make of the show. It seems kind of almost like a dramedy where it's like, oh, it has like, maybe it's kind of almost a little bit of a dark comedy in some regards. I have no idea. But because the trailer kind of tells you like, oh, he's kind of a dick teacher, the professor that no one really likes, and he's trying to, I don't know. It's Bob Odenkirk, so that's enough for me to be like, hey, that's dope. Apparently it's based on the book, which I didn't look too much into the book either, but I don't know, just from the trailer alone, it seemed like, once again, it feels like there's so little context for stuff that I'm like, I don't fully know what this is all about. Once again, he just seems like a dickish character trying to figure things out because it seems like his life is kind of falling apart. March 23rd on Netflix, we have a new series called The Night Agent. I believe there's only a teaser trailer out at the time of me recording this. I don't think there's a full trailer, but I could be mistaken. I think it's like an FBI agent kind of answers like a very specific phone, and I think it's an FBI agent, and it kind of sends him down this like conspiracy kind of. It seems like it's going to be like kind of like a crime drama-y kind of suspense spy thriller type of show. Once again, I'm only basing that from like, it's been a little while since I saw the teaser trailer, but it was like a minute teaser that kind of gave you that premise. I think there's some synopsises online, but I try not to read too much into those. But for what we saw, it seemed interesting. And once again, I'm always down for like a conspiracy, like, you know, spy-ish thriller type of thing. On March 24th and March 26th, this is a situation where I know March 24th is it airing early, and March 26th is kind of like the day it like officially airs. But that is season 2 of Yellowjackets. Probably the thing I'm the most excited about. Dude, I talked non-stop about this show. It is such a ridiculously good show. I've not seen season 2 trailer because I'm like, you know what? I'm not even going to watch it. I don't want to know what to fully expect about this season. I'm going in as like knowing as little as possible. I have gotten some slight casting spoilers about like who's alive and stuff like that, so I would warn anyone, like if you're online, like do be careful that you don't actually kind of spoil certain story elements for you. But regardless, I'm so excited to see where season 2 takes it, especially where the reveal of season 1's finale, where that left us. Dude, I cannot wait for this show, dude. It's such a good show, and that I don't need anything else to be like, yep, more Yellowjackets. That's all I need. Speaking of March 26th, we have a new series on Paramount Plus called Rabbit Hole. It's a new series from Kiefer Sutherland. I think it's kind of in that spy thriller vein, where I think the premise behind this is he's suspected of murdering someone and he has to clear his name. I don't know if he's like a government official or whether it's kind of like a FBI or like CIA thing, like what his deal is. I think there's a full trailer out. I've only seen the teaser, I believe. But I mean, once again, I said it before, conspiracy, especially if it's kind of like conspiracy, like spy thriller-esque stuff, yo, sign me up. That's kind of my jam too, so I'm excited. On March 29th on the CW, we have the 7th and final season of Riverdale, which is wild, especially if you know where season 6 left us with the whole Riverdale crew, Riverdale in general, and you're like, okay, so what does that fully mean for this final season? Because if you didn't know, Riverdale was basically like, oh yeah, like season 6, we're going bonkers. You thought we were weird before? No, you ain't seen nothing yet. We went balls to the wall crazy last season. I've enjoyed it. I know that's not I mean, Riverdale's in that spot where it's like, if you like it, like I do, or if you don't, you're just in that spot of like, blah, 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 blah. You know, you're entitled to feel that way, 100%. But it's like, yeah, I'm so interested to see how they wrap this up, considering where we are. And like I said, it's just further being like, yo, we're going deep. The circumstances of where season 6 ended, I'm curious, is that going to be a majority of the season, or we're going to undo that immediately after the first or second episode? A la kind of like a Flashpoint, like how they handled it in the TV show in comparison, like the comic and the upcoming movie and stuff. Regardless, I'm excited to ultimately see what happens, how Riverdale ends, obviously the pairings and stuff like that. I think we're kind of pretty solidified in our couplings and stuff, but once again, just specifically where this story ends up taking us in this final chapter. And then finally, on March 31st on Prime Video, we have a new series called The Power. Basically, it's actually kind of an interesting timing because I did a video about this recently. It kind of reminds me of The Nevers, but it's set in present day. This is actually based on a book, I think of the same name. But essentially, girls eventually start developing the power. It's like, I think it's teenagers specifically. Teenage girls start developing the power to just be able to summon electricity. And it kind of becomes this, you know, I think almost like X-Men thing of like, yo, these girls are out here, they have powers. What do we do with it? How does society handle it? Like I said, it's kind of very similar to the Nevers, whereas the Nevers was set in like Victorian era. This is set present day. So figuring out what gave them their abilities. People who start flexing, who might have felt powerless before now have power, and you know how they use it and how having this power ends up changing them seems to be a big part of this story. So from what I saw in the trailer, it seemed really, really interesting. It kind of gives me a little bit of like I said, the Nevers, but also a little bit of Paper Girls. It kind of gives me a little bit of a vibe like that, but maybe that's just the side of me that just, you know, wants more Paper Girls, like a little twinge of that's kind of there in some regard. But it feels like obviously it's kind of like it seems like obviously a darker story. Like I doubt it's going to be like The Boys level of dark, but I think it is going to go more in a more mature, darker lane with some of probably the themes and elements it deals with. But either way, it seems really interesting from what I saw. And so that brings this month's watch list to an end. Like always, if there's something that's coming out that maybe you're aware of that I wasn't aware of, that you think maybe me or someone else would be interested in, don't be afraid to leave it in the comments down below. But really, that's all I wanted to talk about. Till the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and good